Hey everybody, it is Cosmo the Coder here, and I apologise again for this video because it's going to be another little bit of a rant. A rant video. Seriously, me and my soft R's are just... Anyway. So yesterday it came out, there's this rumour going around, well, rumour slash factual slash news piece slash whatever you want to call it, regarding Batman Arkham Knight and what Warner did or didn't know about the state of it. And now I'm going to be careful how I say this just for various reasons, but it's been at least suggested that Warner knew about the problems with Arkham Knight on PC and basically ignored them. Just pushed them to one side and said, you know, fuck it, we're going to release it, what the fuck, no one cares about PC, we're just going to do it regardless, blah blah blah. Now, how true this is, you know, it's not something that's new. You know, PC gamers are not delusional enough to believe that, you know, they're high up on the food chain compared to Xbox, compared to PlayStation. You know, we have got no particular company or brand pushing for exclusivity or for, you know, defining important games. You know, we get what developers and publishers want to give us. You know, we've got nothing that sort of says that no one stands up for us and says we want this game or we want exclusivity. You know, and like I said before, in a way that's a good thing because it means we get a wide range of games. We get games that are given to us by developers, by publishers, because they want people to buy them, they want people to see them, and so forth. Now we do get some good stuff. You know, we get some really cool games that consoles don't get. First of all, you know, things like StarCraft, things like Diablo 3, which came to PC first. You know, that's just a couple of simple examples. You know, not that I love Blizzard or anything, but it's there. Now, the news story is, and you can Google it anyway. You'll find it pretty much on any obvious game news site whatsoever. But the basic premise of it is that they knew about it for months, and the testers were testing it, and it reporting all the bugs that they found, and these are all the bugs that people have been finding in the game nowadays, right now. And the fact is, they were going ignored. They're being ignored. Not because they didn't want to fix them, but because they were so busy porting the game to PC that they just said, we've got to port the game to PC first, then we'll try and fix the bugs. They didn't fix all of them. Warner knew about this and released the game anyway, and published the game anyway and said, you know what, we'll fix it later. Cue the whole mess that's happened, it being pulled after 2 days, really angry fans, really angry players, and a game that a lot of people can't play. And, you know, like I said before, this is not something new. This has happened many times before. But this has got to be the worst example, or the strongest example of the worst case of it. You know, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible situation. Because, first of all, you're talking about, first of all, Batman. Now, you can say, oh, it's just a game. But Batman itself is a huge, huge franchise. A huge franchise to Warner, to gaming situation, especially with the Arkham sort of trilogy, or, well, quadrilogy if you want to include Origins. You know, it's all about, you know, the fans love the games. And when you've played all of the other ones and you're basically playing, I mean, Arkham Knight is the final one in the series, supposedly. You know, it is supposed to be the point where Batman stops being Batman and whatever happens. Obviously, I've avoided as much as I can to do with the actual ending of the game, which is not easy, trust me. But at the end of the day, I know that this is supposed to be the ending of the Arkham, past the ham, the Arkham series. So that's the first point. Now, again, it's something that is upsetting to PC gaming, that we once again have been proven to be sort of on the back burner. And it's something that seems to be not necessarily consistent, because you can look at things like Call of Duty, where it's come out on PC, and there's very few problems to do with Call of Duty that I've, there are issues here and there and stuff like that. And when you consider things like, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 had a fantastic release on PC. It sold like 4 million units so far, and nearly a third of them, at least a third of them, were on PC. And when it came out, people complained and said, "Oh well, where's the graphic options? It doesn't look as good as it did when it was demonstrated at E3 or whatever showcase it was." And CD Projekt turned around and said, "Okay, yes, you got a good point. We'll give you all the options to change the graphics." Put the pity fucking. So they did that, and for a game that's actually quite similar to Batman, it's kind of odd to think that it can run better than that, better than a game that has been developed by Warner, when CD Projekt are, without being insulting to them, is a little bit further down this pecking order, as opposed to Warner, a huge multi-billion-dollar company that should know better. They should know a hell of a lot better to publish a game that isn't finished. That's what's the most upsetting thing, the most annoying thing about this whole mess, is that Warner knew about it, and they have not admitted it. They haven't admitted it at all. And they don't have to. They can sit quite happily, twiddling their thumbs and thinking la 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 la, and blaming other people. The PC version was ported from the console version, and it's come out now that Rocksteady delayed the game in the first place because it was difficult to code for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And it took them longer to sort that out in the first place. Once they did, what was handed to, I've completely forgotten their names now. I know it's like IEG or something. That's what that's the initials of the thing. It was handed to this company, and they basically ported it to PC, and there wasn't proper testing done because Warner was scared. They were scared that the plot was going to get leaked, so they didn't want they wanted to outsource it to a proper testing facility or testing house, because they were scared that it was going to get, handed out to someone, and someone was going to learn the whole plot line. Which, yeah, okay, I understand that, but what would you rather have? Someone leaking the plot line, or a really bad tarnish mark on your reputation because of releasing a game that, quite frankly, is unplayable for 75% of the people that bought it? And it is a mess. Let's put it that way. It is a huge mess that is trying to be sorted, but the game's been out now 9 days. People have played it through on console and completed it. There are videos out there that you can watch right now and see an entire playthrough of it, see all the content, see all 100% of it, see the special part of the ending, whatever that is. There's people who want to experience it and can't on PC, have to go and find it elsewhere on a different console, or go watch a YouTube video, that's not the same. That is not the same as buying the game and experiencing it on PC. Now, I'm one of the lucky ones. I've been reading about how people can play this game perfectly fine, like I can. Just about. I have had a few stutters here and there, but nothing compared to what I've seen from other people. The textures, I have to admit, I'm looking at them and saying, they don't look too high definition. They don't look too, compared to what they could be. But at the end of the day, I'm not analysing the graphics. I'm more interested in the game. But, it basically comes down to what people have done. And what's evident is that from these rumours and these articles is that testing was done, bugs were reported, but weren't fixed. People knew about this. The game was released anyway, and Warner started realising that they wanted to pull the game because they were getting refunds. You know, people who had bought the game, pre-ordered the game on Steam, were getting the refunds back, and that obviously costs Warner, because Warner have to cover the expenses. Steam doesn't cover them. Steam goes to the company and says, look, you've got to cover this expense. So that's maybe part of the reason why they pulled the game, to stop people buying it and then pulling it again, pulling it off the refund. But this is all speculation, you know. Now I'm under no illusions, you know. I'm a programmer. I've worked professionally as a programmer. Granted, not in the games industry. Granted, not to the highest level of something that a game programmer would be. But even I know, you know, deadlines are fine. But even if your program is a buggy piece of shit, you don't release it. You don't think, oh, you know what, let's just do it anyway. Because you know that if you do that, your reputation is severely damaged. And, you know, there are people out there on huge number of forums, you know, Steam, the Warner Brothers community are saying, I'm never buying from Rocksteady again. I'm never buying from Warner again. I'm never buying from Steam again. You know, they're blaming every single person of that. You know, they're blaming the people who ported it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to Rocksteady or the people who ported it or Steam. It comes down to the publisher. You know, the publisher made the call. The publisher said, we're going to do it anyway. You know, we want the money. We've had all these pre-orders. We're not going to delay it any further. Blah, blah, blah. And they do it. And it's disgusting. It really is. It tarnishes reputations. I mean, I think I read somewhere that Mortal Kombat X was ported by a company. I can't remember the name of the company. I'm sure it was written down somewhere. It just shows how much research I write down before I actually come and do things on camera. But that company doesn't exist anymore. You know, the damage was done to that company, that they literally just disappeared. And whether that's true or not, I just read it somewhere, and some part of it got stuck in my brain. But at the end of the day, if that's true, then it just shows how cold Warner must be to basically isolate themselves away from that company and not support that company in any regard, and basically say, oh, well, you know, it's not our fault. We didn't make it. We didn't port it. Someone else did. Blame them, you know. So it's kind of sad that that kind of situation happens, because they try their best, and obviously they're under immense pressure, you know, money, time. It's just something that happens, and I've experienced that as well as a developer. You know, people said, right, you got till this time, and you say, well, it's not ready, what do I do? And you have to do something. But when you're talking about a AAA premium game with a huge fan base, with a huge following, the last thing you do is say, fuck it, let's just do it anyway, because you're going to upset a huge amount of people and you're going to tarnish everything. And I'm realizing I'm going around in my own circles again. So I'm going to leave it there. But so that's just my general opinion of what's been going on with Batman Arkham Knight. I am still going to play it, and we'll see how we go with the rest of the game. Here's hoping that the PC gaming community can one day soon play it to its full potential, because obviously at some point the season pass stuff's going to start coming in, and that's going to be interesting, hopefully. You know, adding more content to the game, and hopefully the PC people can play it. Alright guys, well that's me for now. Thanks for watching. Sorry if I rant too much. Go round in circles, but that's just me. Hey. Bye for now.